Mel Morrison. I'd like to introduce you to myself and my background and philosophies on IT infrastructure. I am a certified cloud architect, which along with my extensive background in IT infrastructure, supporting a variety of different businesses in many different industries, makes me uniquely qualified to help you and your organization and your customers make that tough transition from what I call legacy IT to the new cloud computing era. I hope you enjoy the video. Enterprise architecture is a framework for aligning the IT group with the true needs of the business unit, not just the perceived needs by the IT folks. And it's a tool. It's as good as you let it be, but it helps you to start that communication amongst the business people and the IT group. Gives you a framework, a common language, if you will, to address these issues. And when you get into a common language, you can often make great strides towards solving the problems of serving the business needs. Well, the process of EA itself helps to drive that alignment by starting with the business goals and strategies to develop the IT framework. Unfortunately, a lot of businesses, especially the small to mid-sized businesses, don't have a well-defined business strategy or well-communicated vision. In this case, it's an opportunity to sit down with the business leaders to document and communicate that strategy. When I do that, I like to use a model that I call REFCS, R-E-F-C-S. It stands for reliability, efficiency, flexibility, cost-effectiveness, and security. Those are the 5 key system design principles that help to formulate the decisions for how IT architecture is developed in the organization. It makes a great talking point to get the discussions going with the business leaders. I'm really excited about the rapid growth in cloud technologies. Cloud computing is one of the biggest disruptive innovations in IT over the past 2 decades or more. It's a logical extension of the virtualization technologies that we've been using for the last several years and have made such an impact on the way that we provision IT infrastructure today. There's been so much hype about what the cloud is over the past several years that a lot of organizations, especially the old traditional IT infrastructures, have become a bit jaded as to what the cloud really is or what it can provide, what the meaningful application is for their organizations. The National Institute of Standards and Technologies, or NIST, has published their definition of what cloud is, and I'll be publishing excerpts from that in an upcoming blog. But in essence, it defines the cloud technologies as on-demand, self-service, scalable, and metered. And the acronym for that is OSSM. We often call it awesome. The cloud makes virtualization technologies awesome. By virtue of its on-demand and self-service nature, cloud services are very much like a public utility, similar to water or gas. Like in a water utility, when you need the service, you turn on the spigot. When you don't need it anymore, you turn it off. And the great thing is you pay only for what you use. It's the same with cloud service providers. It's a shared service among many consumers whereby you don't have to build your own infrastructure at great capital expense. You use what you need, when you need it, and you only pay for what you use. While there can be a variety of different ways of provisioning cloud services, they generally fall into one of 3 deployment models and one of 3 service delivery models. The deployment model that we most often think of for cloud services is the public cloud, where you subscribe to a public shared service and share that infrastructure amongst many different users. There are also many times when you want to or need to provision the hardware and software infrastructure on premises for government mandate or privacy restrictions, or simply for cost benefit. In this case, you would need to provide your own software and hardware, but you also have a software layer such as OpenStack or some others which would provision the cloud services for you, the on-demand services, the self-service, the scalability, and metered use. Also, I think in the future, a lot of organizations will be doing a combination of the two. We call that a hybrid cloud, which, as the name suggests, a combination of public and private cloud services. And I think that's really going to be the predominant deployment model in the future. As far as the service deployment, there are many different XaaSs out there, or different as-a-service models, but they typically are just in three categories. The first one is the infrastructure as a service, in which you purchase the virtual server instance and you maintain all the operating system, middleware, and the applications yourself. This is the most common service. There's also a platform as a service, or PaaS, in which the virtual machine, the operating system, and the middleware are maintained for you, but you have to maintain the application layer yourself. The third, and used by a lot of people for a long time, is the software as a service, or SaaS, which includes all layers of provisioning the application service along with the platform, the operating system, middleware, and so forth. This has been used by a lot of companies for a long time when they don't even think about being actually users of cloud services. Certainly, I believe that most IT staffs can manage a migration to the cloud environment. However, it will require some education for the staff, and especially in the early days, it may well require some contract resources, some consulting to help ease that migration. Besides just the cloud, I see a lot of changing roles for IT professionals. They're going to need to work at higher and higher layers of abstraction. The lower layers will become automated, and oftentimes those will be outsourced to cloud service providers. I think the shifting IT to a role of facilitating business objectives, we're going to see that much more in the future as defined in enterprise architecture. A lot of the underlying infrastructure issues that people have dealt with for years, and especially in the operations groups, are going to be more and more automated, and other groups are going to be doing that. So it frees up staff to be able to be more connected to the business users themselves. I think this is a good thing. The cloud experienced IT staff is hard to find these days, so you probably should consider training the staff that you have, along with augmenting through consulting and contract labor. Legacy still dominates the world of IT, and probably will for several years to come. But there is opportunity for those people who can take advantage of and incorporate cloud technology into their infrastructure today to gain a competitive advantage over the laggards. There are a lot of good reasons for and against adopting cloud computing, especially in a legacy environment. That doesn't mean, however, that an organization can simply ignore cloud computing if it doesn't fit into the infrastructure of today. It will fit someday and needs to be a part of every IT strategic plan. And if nothing else, it needs to be a consideration in the evaluation process anytime you have a major software upgrade or a data center relocation or upgrade, or your disaster recovery plan upgrade, Even the server or storage acquisition cloud needs to be a part of that evaluation. Cloud computing can no longer be ignored by the legacy organization just because they're not comfortable with it. There's simply too many potential upsides to the business. Thanks for watching the video. My services are available contract, full-time, through speaking or consulting engagements, or through custom IT training for your staff on cloud computing technologies or related subject material. Please contact me through the website at morrisonea.com or just send me an email to mel@morrisonea.com. Thank you very much.